be accounted for going forward? I mean, will it be paid back over a period of time, and then we'll just make the adjustments to?
That long, because this is what happens, I can tell you, that as business activities, we cut the check and we pay for that. And then
So actually what happens is we pay it as we're invoiced. So right now we've received about, I think close to $300,000 worth of invoices, so we've paid that. So it may actually.
March 31st, 2021. Have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Commissioner Willie, Commissioner Fountain, second. Any other discussions about the revised budget? Hearing none, we'll put it to a vote. All those in favor of approving resolution number 2020-48, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. My next item is to ask you to approve a resolution for us to purchase the Capote utility vehicle for Lincoln Park. And this is resolution number 2024-49. Lincoln Park is in need of this utility vehicle in order to service residents. Kubota Tractor Corporation was deemed the most responsive vendor by the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Association. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Huntsville Housing Authority that the Executive Director, CEO, Contract Officer is hereby authorized to purchase a Kubota utility vehicle from Huntsville Tractor and Equipment in the amount not to exceed $25,000. This is resolution number 2020-49. And the information that is attached, we attached what we paid in 2016 was $19,503.26. We said $25,000 not to exceed that, and so this particular property is requesting this piece of equipment.
Okay, just for clarification, I didn't make this announcement at the beginning, but we do have the opportunity as commissioners to review the agenda and items that are presented prior to this meeting and have a chance to ask questions just in case anybody is expecting us to be having more discussion at this point. So I know this is a fairly straightforward resolution, but we've had a chance to ask any questions with Director Chase about this resolution. And so at this point in time, I'd love to entertain a motion for resolution 2020-49, approving the purchase of a Kubota utility vehicle for Lincoln Park.
Move for approval.
Second. Commissioner Fountain moved, Commissioner Sullivan second. Any other discussions about this resolution? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving resolution 2020-49, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my next item is actually to ask a resolution approving the purchase of 6 cargo vans and 1 Connect transit van. Butler Terrace, Northwoods, Johnson Towers, and Searcy Home, Todd Towers, LRP service residents and HHA. A Transit Connect van is needed for the IT department to service the site's technology needs. So our vans most of them are at least 20 years old, and with our CARES Act funding, with us being allowed to move expenses over to that funding, we now have funding available to make a purchase for our fleet. So I'm really excited for this for our maintenance men, because it'll be better transportation for them. So resolution 2020-50 is for all of the sites that I mentioned, also with the IT department, whereas Woody Anderson Ford was deemed the most responsive vendor by the North Alabama Cooperative Purchasing Association. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the Huntsville Housing Authority that the Executive Director, CEO, Contracting Officer is hereby authorized to purchase 8 vans from Woody Anderson Ford in the total amount of $241,166. I wanted to let you know that these vans are currently available, and we should have these vans by next month in December. They're just waiting on our phone call when I leave here to begin the process, because they outfit these vans with the equipment that's needed, the shelving and racking for the site. I did want to let you know that the van that we purchased for the residents, that it is being assembled, and we hope to have it by December and another van that we approved before, it is on our parking lot at this time. So I just wanted to update you about the residential van, the van for the residents. So I'm asking for your approval for resolution 2020-50.
These vans have any type of HHA branding or logo on them?
They will.
They will.
They will, yes. We've already ordered that. He's in charge of putting that on the van, so they will be out there. I think we need to put our website address on there too, but anyway. You think you like that too? Okay. Neil, they will like that too.
You were right.
So does this pretty much constitute replacing our entire fleet?
No, sir. Nothing.
How many vehicles do we have total?
The insurance register stated I had, the new one I added, we were at 54. So it includes everything, like our we insure like our tractors that we
Right.
pull. We insure our golf carts. We have several items that we are now obsolete that we will be removing and adding these in. But it includes everything that has wheels. That's what we insure.
54?
It's round. But you have to understand all of our fleet, anything that we have that has wheels on it that we
Right.
insure. You know.
Right.
I'm saying from my list that I remember, like a tractor, the trailer that's sitting. We have a trailer that holds our generators for the bedbug equipment. When I think everything that has wheels at the HHA, when I think commercial auto liability. Now I give you an actual count of vans, I would have to get that back to you.
Okay, I'd like to see it.
You want to see that? Okay.
And kind of, the description of the
Okay.
year, the make, and all that.
Okay. I can.
Do we use bedbug equipment?
No, we do not. We need to sell that.
And where do we store them?
It's all stored at the old maintenance shop.
All right, well, you're getting plenty of questions.
That's fine. I like those. They keep me on my toes.
I'll
I'm good.
ask if the commissioners would like to act on a resolution 2020-50 approving the purchase of 6 cargo vans and 1 Connect Transit van.
Motion for approval.
Commissioner Sullivan, motion for approval.
And I'll second it.
Commissioner Willie, second. Any other discussions or questions for Director Chase? Hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution 2020-50, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it unanimously. Thank you.
All right. And mine was for next to last item, because I handed out CARES Act. Okay. Presentation of the cumulative low income housing finance report for the period ending September 30th, 2020. Beginning with total revenue, the only explanation here is other tenant charges. We took the budget, took what we actually have, plus third and fourth quarter estimate, late fees that are now being charged to the residents. Also moving forward to total administration, at administrative salaries are lower than our targeted budget at this time of 40%, anything 10%, anything less than 10% higher or lower, I will explain. But we're right at the point of just explaining 0.25%. We're trending under. Advertising and marketing, legal, training, and travel, these items are sporadic throughout the year. We made the best estimate, the first 6 months actual, plus an estimate for the third and fourth quarter. Moving to the next page of the financials for September 30th, resident services, other funding, travel, and training. At this present time, the duly elected resident councils are waiting to be funded. We have an outstanding amount to pay them of $12,200 for their resident boards. So as soon as those are turned back into us, we will cut them a check for those amounts to fund their resident boards. Moving forward to labor and employee benefits. At this time, we have we no longer have 3 open maintenance supervisors. I think we may still have 1 and 6 vacant A positions to fill. So we plan on filling those in the third and fourth quarter of this year. Moving forward to materials, due to COVID-19, the staff had limited access to the units and were only responding to emergency work orders, and that's still the case at this time. I thought they would be entering the units for regular work orders, but they're still just going in for emergency work orders.
So we were going to start going into the units, but since the COVID cases have gone up and Madison County the red, high risk category, we took a step back in our maintenance reopening plan.
Materials will probably be less than budget this year. Other general expenses, the Stone Ridge Villa loan, as I spoke to before, is pending payment, and I do know we made a payment for about $350,000 in the month of November. Moving forward to collection loss, this line item is also offset by the collections from the MIS collections and tenants paying outstanding balances. Moving to capital asset addition, the purchase of the sweeper truck for $149,700, the tractor for $33,164, and the leasehold improvements have been completed. The approved vans and Kubota vehicles should be delivered in the third quarter. So at this present time, we have a net increase of $1,330,006 in comparison to a budget also increase of $151,328. So, Commissioner Smith, I thought about the question you asked me in this budget, and I just wanted to say that with these times being so uncertain, just like I had an understanding we'd be entering units, and now we are not. It just really depends on what's going on. But our goal is, of course, I think the net income will be greater because we're not spending the funds on materials, or staff will still be in place, and hopefully we get staff in place. But I thought about it, and then we are uncertain at this time about our funding with the new administration, what we're looking at for January, February, and March.
So the idea is kind of hold tight what we have before making any decisions on anything.
Mr. Carpenter is, Ben Carpenter.
Yes, I read that. And also attaches the individual breakdown by site. Do you have any questions about these items? So, I also handed out the CARES Act funding that will be sent to you via email also, and to give you a request to getting an update. And this is as of September 30, 2020. We did draw additional funds in October, but I wanted to be consistent in the financial information that I present to you as of September 30th. So funds available in ELOCs as of March 27, 2020, this is what was available for us to be able to draw funds for CARES Act. And the total administration, we have drawn $341,972. And as you can see, that breaks down for salaries, temp labor, employee benefits, office expense, and that's computer and software upgrades. And then other administrative costs, except tenant and staff child care costs. And so anyone that turns in a valid receipt, and we can verify that the children are in that location, we pay for the child care costs incurred. We also have child care costs with now the organizations that we work with, where their staff is working with our residents, and so they are paid on the salary line going forward. I believe they started in October. That they will also be, you will see that cost reflected here too. The water fee, we had to do a reconnection fee for Boys and Girls Club at Sparkman Homes because we had shut off the water due to us tearing down the buildings. Also in maintenance, we have salaries, temp labor, and benefits. And as you can see, we purchased personal protection equipment also. The protective services contract cost is for the guard that's at the central office that helps us screening, taking temperatures, letting people in when they do have an appointment or whatever support is needed at that time downstairs. So the total we spent is $747,320, and the available balance to be spent is $456,591. And these funds are available to us until December 31st, 2021. That date was December 31st, 2020, but it hasn't been extended. And we have drawn additional funds in October, so I will update this accordingly. And I will just include this as an informational for you in my packet as a separate line item.
Appreciate you supplying this. Question for you. So we don't see a tenant services category on this breakdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned that there are some funding that has gone to tenant services.
Yes, September, the tenant and staff child care costs, it has gone there. and then the personal protection equipment. When I get to the financial data schedule, they allow for a reclass, and I will be reclassing that to tenant services.
Okay.
As for us to be consistent in accounting,
Yeah.
to make sure we're following the same, that my AP person and us will code to materials. But when we come to present on the financial data schedule, that line item for computer and software upgrades, personal protection, and the cost for childcare costs will go under the tenant services line of the SDS.
Thank you. Well,
So, I guess my last question is, that number seems to be kind of low.
What number?
Considering the dollar amount spent on the childcare,
Mm-hmm.
are they maximizing
The tenants, from what I understand, they were made aware if their child went to, let's say, the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, if they paid for them to go there, then we reimbursed. But we did not have a lot of reimbursements that have been requested.
Yeah, I think it's low because of the reimbursement, like having it up front and then being reimbursed.
going in money?
Right.
So, but we do a quick turnaround. So, I mean, if they pay, then we cut checks on Thursday, and we do an extreme, a quick turnaround for that. And then I had some people that submitted requests for us to pay the grandparents, and I couldn't do that. That's not allowed. And so you have to be at an establishment. And if we had requests for children that were under 5 that were not school age, we could not pay that either. So we did have requests come through, but I had to deem some ineligible. Because I have to follow PIH number 2020. It God's life. So.
thank you.
Thank you. This time with our housing operations. Carrie has one item.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just have one item for your action today. The resolution authorizing the executive director, CEO, contracting officer to enter into a contract for employment and income verification services for public housing and housing choice voucher program. This is resolution number 2020-51. The Huntsville Housing Authority is required to perform employment and income verification for its applicants, public housing residents, and housing choice voucher participants. There was a solicitation for proposals that went out July the 23rd, 2020, with proposals due October 1st, 2020. The Huntsville Housing Authority received 2 proposals. The highest ranking proposal was submitted by TALX Corporation. This contract will allow the Huntsville Housing Authority to continue to comply with statutory and regulatory requirements to verify income and employment for HHA public housing applicants, residents, and HCV participants in a detailed and thorough manner. Of the 2 proposals, the TALX proposal was the best proposal that was the most highest ranking. Thank you. So the resolution, it says that the Board of Commissioners of the Huntsville Housing Authority hereby approves entering into a contract with TALX Corporation. I know Commissioner Bolte had some questions about what the cost of this would be. It is $175 for an annual service fee and $19.15 per transaction. That means every time that we actually go online and request a verification, it's going to cost us the $19.15. there's an estimate that, for the last 1 year period, we did approximately 4,500 annual, verifications. So the estimate would be approximately $86,350. I think there was some discussion earlier about, is it going to be more than that, less than that? And Teresa Wade Chase might want to speak to that if you have any questions. Okay, hearing no questions, I request that the board authorize the executive director, CEO, contracting officer to enter into a contract for employment and income verification services for public housing and the Housing Choice Voucher Program. This is resolution number 2020-51.
All right, thank you very much. We have a resolution that's been presented authorizing executive director to enter into a contract for employment income verification services, resolution 2020-51. I should note that we appreciate making the modifications to the resolution to add kind of an estimate, at least a description of how many people you on average do this particular background check for. So I know it was brought up by a couple of commissioners, and I appreciate you making that change to the resolution. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion for this resolution.
Move for approval.
Commissioner Fountain moved, seconded by Commissioner Sullivan. Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Ayes have it unanimously. Resolution passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McGinn?
All right. First of all, before I get started with the report, I want to thank the staff again for the awesome job that they do each and every day. And I'll continue to say that as they continue to do a good job. So I want to appreciate the staff because they really make this organization run as well as it does. So we appreciate all the hard work that they do. The second thing is I wanted to just touch up on the van situation again, because I know I was one of the ones that really pushed for us to get new vehicles and new vans, because the ones that we have right now look really, really bad. And I think the new vans will help us as we brand. A lot of the paint and labels are falling off, and as we go throughout the neighborhood, it really is going to do us some good to have some nice functioning vehicles that really don't look as bad as the ones we have now. So I was grateful that we got the CARES Act funding and we can push that money over so that we can get some new vehicles. I also wanted to talk about the tenant services. Although we don't see a large number in this report, we were able to do temporary labor for the organizations that actually serve us, because a lot of the families didn't qualify, but we were able to provide temporary labor to a lot of the nonprofits so that they could serve everybody that lives in public housing. So even though we don't see a large number on here, we are able to serve anybody that wants to come by providing that extra support to the nonprofits that are servicing our children. Because with school being out and a lot of families having a disconnect with technology, the organizations that we're partnered with have really stepped up to the plate and provided some awesome service. So we appreciate them for doing that. Also, Neil provided us some information that I actually emailed right before this meeting about remote capabilities as it relates to the fall, just in case we have to shut down again. And this really gives us a good outlook on where we are as we go into the fall if we have to shut down, as far as capabilities for every staff member in our organization. So you'll get a chance to see that and look over that, because I think that's important as we move forward as well. Also, I wanted to have come and share with us today we're gonna be doing a lot of work in the community, especially with this Envision Center, some work that we're gonna be doing with the Legacy Center, and it's gonna be beneficial that we know the services that we have in-house already. And we have a lot of organizations that wanna partner with us, and Patrice and Fred and her staff, they're gonna be working closely with us as we move forward in serving not only our resident services or our resident council, but just the general public as well. And I wanted her to share the things that are going on in resident services. Resident services is dear to me. I started out at the Housing Authority with resident services, and I know the work that they do. And I wanted her to have an opportunity to share some of the things that they've actually done over the last few years and what they plan on doing as we move forward. So, Patrice, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. McGinnis, and good afternoon, Chair and Commissioners. For giving me the opportunity to briefly discuss some of the programs that we do under resident services. And those programs will be, we have the Ross program, Resident Opportunity and Self-Sufficiency Program. And also we have the Home Ownership Program. So with the Ross program, we have two components with that program, the Elderly and Disabled Program, as well as the Youth and Family Program. So we have programs for residents to be able to age, thrive in place, as well as become self-sufficient and move up and out of housing. So on the Ross program, we have two coordinators, myself and Mr. Fred Whitlow. We have about 160 residents that we service through the program. We offer them case management. Some of them just might need a light touch case management, and others might need more deeper, intensive case management. So we work with different programs to bring activities that will help the residents become economically self-sufficient, meet their goals, and hopefully be able to transition on to the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. So we work closely with the staff of the Family Self-Sufficiency Program so we can get our residents ready. So Ross is kind of like a step toward, step up, or step toward self-sufficiency, and that's what we want to do for our residents to be able there to help them. Some of the partnerships that we work with under Ross, most recently this year, we've worked with, over the past few years, Oakwood Nursing Program to offer just some vital checks for our residents and our seniors in the towers. That has really been helpful for them because not only do they get those health checks and be able to be referred to medical professionals if they need it, and they didn't know that they were sick, didn't know their blood pressure was high at that time. So then by having the staff from Oakwood Nursing Program, the students come over and be able to offer that for the residents, has been very helpful. And they love to interact with them as well. Both recently this year, before the pandemic, we worked with the Links. The Links offered a financial program for the residents, which was it wasn't intensive, but it allowed the residents to learn more about finances and to be able to, express what they know and what they didn't know. And they offered also some incentives for the residents as well. So we had a lot of youth from maybe the Scout Hut, also from the Boys and Girls Club to be able to come over. So we had a good group of youth to be able to do that. And that was a 6-week program, and the youth were really into that. And so we were sad that had to abruptly stop because of the pandemic. So hopefully we can pick that back up in the next upcoming year. Also working with insurance agencies to provide some just supportive services and activities for some of the things that we're doing. One of the great things that we're also doing is working with our residents and resident councils. We have resident councils just about each site. The resident councils come together to form the RAD board, which is the Resident Advisory Board, and they serve as a voice for the community. Many of the residents that I meet or come across when I'm recruiting for the resident councils is that they love their community, they love their neighbors, and they want to see, things happen and things to build their community. They just don't know how to do it. So if I find, someone who has that leadership quality, then I'm going to be part of the community so we can hear what it is that they need in their community, what would they like to see, and how they want to improve it. So the resident councils and our leaders, they are very vocal. So they are very essential to the housing authority and being able to let us know what they see in their community, what they need. And in turn, the Housing Authority can, let them know just about just the different happenings and what's going on. So that they're informed and they can also inform other residents in their community. When I have workshops or information I just need to get out, if it's a food drive, I use the resident councils, the leaders, to be able to get that information out, because they can do it in a quick manner. If it's just one of me, then we've got 5, leaders in each community, and they can definitely get that out, know the residents and have those contacts with them. So they've been a great help throughout the years, getting information out and being able to let us know what they would like to see in their communities. So that's just a couple of things with over the past year that we've worked with, and just the resident councils. Do you all have any questions? Kind of talk fast.
You said most of our sites, most of the neighborhoods have established residents or struggling.
Cersei does not. Butler Terrace does not have a fully duly elected council. We do have representatives from L.R. Patton and Butler Terrace that they go with us, and they do different things, attend our meetings and things like that. But they do not have a duly elected council. So those would be the only 2 sites, Cersei and Butler Terrace.